All right, we've got a smoothie, not tea today. We've got our pep in our step. I think we're ready to do this.
Hi, everyone. You're tuning in to the Perfectly Powerfully You podcast, a space of epic positivity, radical self expression, and transformational growth. Join me in celebrating this beautiful thing we call life with even greater ease, flow, and authenticity.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Perfectly Powerfully You podcast. I'm your host, Nikita, and I trust, hope, and expect that you all are having a delightfully wonderful day. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood over here. I have laundry going in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear it. No, it seems to have stopped. Great. I have been having such a great time these days with paying attention to synchronicities, hence the title and or genre of this podcast. I also had a friend Larissa, thank you so much, Larissa, for asking some questions and just piquing a little bit more of the synchronicity part of my brain. And it really got me more attuned to paying attention to what it is we are paying attention to. One question in particular that she asked, which I thought was such a great question, is are there good or bad synchronicities? And I want to get more into that, but also delving into for the remainder of the podcast, what are synchronicities? Are there good or bad synchronicities? And how can we pay attention to the synchronicities that are for our divine soul's purpose and how we can lead it down, um, becoming even more intuitive, becoming even more solidified and confident in our own inner knowing, as well as how we can use synchronicities to recognize whether or not we're walking down a path that we want to be walking down, or if we're walking down a path that we might not want to be walking down, and how we can pay attention to the little synchronicities and or nudges that the universe is giving us in order to step down and continue to step down a path or to make some pivots. So, without further ado, let's get on with the podcast. So, to begin, what are synchronicities? I have made one or two podcasts previously about this topic, but I think it is so important to not only recognize what synchronicities are, but also how we're able to utilize them and to be able to make them even more a part of our life and make it even more apparent for what it is we are paying attention to. So you can classify a synchronicity as some people call it a coincidence. For example, sometimes you might be thinking about someone and they call you or you run into them and you're like, oh my gosh, hey, what a small world. I was just thinking about you. A synchronicity could also be you're thinking about buying a red car and then you start seeing that same make, model, color everywhere. And you're like, what? Where do these show up? I was just thinking about it. And now here they are present in my life. So synchronicities are basically what it is you are paying attention to and what you are noticing in your life. Synchronicities occur because our external environment and our external life is a mirror of our internal life, our internal dialogue, what it is we are actually thinking about, our inner world, if you wish. And so when synchronicities come up, it's because our brain, our body, and our energy is putting a lot of focus and attention on that particular subject, i.e., the red car, i.e., the friend you were just thinking about. So we want to be paying attention to what it is we are paying attention to. What are we giving our focus? What are we giving our attention to? And so when my friend Larissa, again, thank you, Larissa, asked me this question, and she was like, are there good or bad synchronicity? She's like, at the level of fact in her life, she was noticing around accommodation and a lot of doors closing, things just not lining up in the perfect way for her. And she's like, man, I just kept noticing it. And everywhere It felt like every path she was taking, she was always getting closed doors. And I thought it was such a fun way of being able to tune into the podcast because there might be some of you who are also saying, dude, I'm walking down this path and all I'm seeing are closed doors. Things just aren't lining up for me. And that's all I seem to be receiving and or noticing in my life. These patterns, these synchronicities of, nope, not this, nope, not this, nope, not this. And so when we recognize that one, our outer world, our external environment is a reflection of our inner world. So we want to pay attention to what is our inner world talking about? What are we giving our inner world attention to, which is being reflected in our outer world? So in relation to my friend's predicament, so to speak, and she was seeing and paying attention to and giving a lot of energy to closing doors, things just not lining up for her. And when we were talking about it, that's all I kept hearing from her. Things aren't lining up. People aren't showing up for her. It's just every time she thought that she could, like the household that she's living in is just not working out for her. And I pointed out to her, I said, well, it sounds like you're giving it a lot of your attention. The ways in which things aren't working out for you, the places that don't line up for you, the people who aren't showing up for you. And therefore, you're seeing it a lot in your life. So this could be considered what she said was a quote unquote bad synchronicity. I would love to be able to broach here that in life, everything is neutral. Things are neither good nor bad, they just are what they are. You are going to make it what they are based upon your perception, your perspective, and beliefs about yourself and how you see the world. So, one person could look at a particular subject or appearance in your life and say, man, like, this is great. You're having such great luck. And you're like, wait a moment, like, this doesn't seem like good luck to me. Like, this actually kind of sucks. And from my perspective, I'm not having a good time here. So, remember that everything in your life, no matter what looks like quote unquote good, what looks like quote unquote bad, is neither here nor there. It's neutral. And so, if there's something in your life that you do not prefer, then again, remember, it's not good or bad. It's just, I don't prefer this. So, okay, great. So, you're noticing some things in your life that you don't necessarily prefer. This is awesome clarity. What is it now that you would prefer? Remember that where your attention goes, energy flows. I say this often in my podcast because it's a very key factor that is going to make or break your life. You are energy. Everything is energy. And everything that you are seeing, perceiving, and experiencing in life has to be in alignment with your vibrational frequency, what you're giving off, or else it could not be present in your life. So we want to, in this instance, tune into our thoughts, our images, what we are paying attention to in our mind's eye. So if, and we know it is, our external environment is a mirror, a perfect reflection of what it is we're thinking about our internal environment, we first start, instead of changing our external environment, we want to first change our internal environment because it's going to be reflected. So if you are thinking about and really paying a lot of attention to all the quote unquote bad things in your life, this isn't working out for me. All these doors are closing. I'm just not having a great time. And this is why, this is why, this is why. We would just want to pause and notice and say, okay, at the level of fact, I have been paying attention to and noticing all the reasons why things aren't working out for me. That's okay. That's fine. Where can we shift it though? And you can ask yourself, okay, where are things actually working out for me? Reminding ourselves that we're going to start looking for examples for it. And so start writing down, and I'll encourage you to do this. If your mind has been focused on and really paying attention to all the ways in which things aren't working out for you, it might need a little coaxing. So put it on paper, write it down, all the reasons why and all the places where things are already working out for you. And then pay attention to over the next day, 2 days, a week, write down every reason why. Oh, things are working out for me. Oh my gosh, look at all the doors opening up for me. Oh my gosh, look at all the ways people are being so much more receptive, so much more open, so much more involved in my life because this is putting energy into that. And I would also like to jump on the subject and add to this. Not only is this energetically aligning with even more reasons why things are working out for you, why doors are opening up for you, why opportunities are presenting themselves to you, and why life is getting even easier for you and things are just coming up aces. Your reticular activating system, a beautiful part of your brain that filters out everything that you are not focusing on and filtering in everything you are choosing to focus on. How do we focus? Well, we use our consciousness. Our reticular activating system is going to say, okay, you are focusing on all the reasons why stress, things aren't coming up me, things suck, all these doors are closing and things just aren't working out for me. This is awful. I hate my life. And so your reticular activating system is looking for and giving you examples of ways in which your external environment is reflecting this. People are showing up in a certain way. You're coming up to certain places and maybe people are rude, or maybe opportunities just are falling out of place for you. And so, in order to satiate what you're telling your brain's like, okay, here you go. Exactly as you ordered. All the reasons why things suck and all the reasons why things aren't coming up aces. On the flip side, remembering that your unconscious brain, your subconscious, is very objective. Whatever it is you're focusing on, it's not going to say, oh, don't think that thought, don't plant that seed. It's just going to give it to you. And it's going to look for all the ways in which and give examples for why things are coming up aces, why things are working out for you. Oh, right. This person was so nice to me. Oh man, like this opportunity just came out of the blue. You were paying attention to it, and therefore you reaffirmed those thoughts, in which case, like a positive feedback loop, it was like, okay, here are more examples, here are more examples, here are more examples. Oh, and now you're building up strings, you're building up energy, you're focusing in on it like a jet stream. And so more examples, more examples. Oh man, things are coming up aces, things are getting easier and easier and easier. And these are all the reasons why. Synchronicities will come up in this exact same way. Why? Because you're focusing your energy on it, whatever it is you're focusing your attention on, your inner dialogue, the thoughts you're bringing to mind, what examples you're giving to yourself. This is why we have synchronicities in life, not only because we have the universe guiding us and giving us all the reason, all the energy in alignment with what it is we are focusing on and telling the universe, give me more of this. We also have our brain, which allows things to be easier for us. We are paying attention to a lot of different things. As human beings, having a physical, tangible, real, I'll put that in quotes, experience that we see, hear, smell, taste, touch with our senses constantly. It's a lot for our body, and our conscious brain cannot pick all of that out all at once. It would be very overwhelming. So the reticular activating system is our filter, is our buffer to allow what it is we want to focus on and then be able to reaffirm. And so reminding ourselves and being masterminds with our thoughts, slowing down enough to pay attention to what it is we are focusing on. So synchronicities will come up when we say, oh my gosh, I was just thinking about you, and here you are. One, you thought about this person, and now you're paying attention to the ways in which you are reaffirming that thought. And when you pay attention to and you get that stimulus, it's going to be reaffirmed and it's going to be stronger. Now, how can we use our perception and our awareness to our advantage? And also to open ourselves up to new expanded awareness of life. So we just went over how what you are paying attention to and giving energy is going to grow. And not only that, you are going to perceive it with a lot more ease. So maybe up until now, you have been running a very strong paradigm and story of why things aren't working out for you, why you have to work hard for your money, why you can't find the love of your life because you're not lovable. And reminding us that if we continue to repeat these stories, whether or not you actually want to repeat them, again, is up to you. If you want to keep repeating them, again, you just keep giving them attention. But what if, and let's ask ourselves some higher order questions here to pique the brain and to say, let's focus on something different. Give me examples for something different. So let's pause here. Recognize and honor that we may be running a pattern in the back of our mind that we don't actually want to run anymore. We want to run instead of I'm not lovable. I'm so lovable. People love me and I love myself just for being me. Instead of running, I have to work hard for my money and it's really hard for me to keep money. What if it was easy? What if money comes to me in increasing ways all the time in a variety of different ways? What if it was actually easy for me to make money while I sleep? Let's run that pattern. Give me synchronicities, energy, alignment, reticular activating system. Focus on and give me all the reasons why it is easy. Write it down. And so we can use synchronicities. We can use our beautiful big old brain and we can use our energy to our advantage. We just have to be conscious enough in our daily life to focus on and recognize what patterns we are running right now, what patterns we'd love to shift and repattern into something new that we actually want to dominate our life and come up more easily and regularly in our external environment. So ask yourself these questions, get your brain working and actually think about this. What if it was easy? What if money comes to me in increasing ways all the time in a variety of different ways? What if? What would it look like? What would I be doing? Where is it already showing up? Ask yourself these questions and give yourself space to think about them. Because again, I'll repeat this so many times. Where you are putting your attention is what the universe reads as your intention. And where you are putting your attention is what is going to show up in your external environment because your brain is going to filter out everything unlike what it is you're choosing to consciously focus on. So, how do we build our awareness? How do we continue to grow and expand our awareness? Well, one, we have to be slow enough, methodical enough, conscious and aware enough in our day-to-day life in order to recognize what thoughts are dominating conscious awareness. What thoughts are dominating my subconscious that are running in the background of my mind that I might not even be aware about. Because once we're aware of them, we get to shift them, we get to change them. But we must be aware of them in order to shift them. And then once we shift them, we want to be aware of what it is we're shifting and what we want to, again, grow, cultivate, what it is we want to see. What are the synchronicities? I would love even more money in my life. Where is it already coming to me? I would love to know that I am lovable. Where am I already receiving love? Where can I love myself even more? Where can I put energy into this where I can pay attention to and actively cultivate more of this in my life? When we want different results, we must change ourselves first. It's easier that way, trust me. For a very long time, and I catch myself even still, trying to be matter, a physical person in a physical body, changing my physical reality. It's more difficult because if what you're trying to change in your physical reality is not a match for your inner reality, if you're trying to get more money because internally you're feeling lack, something isn't lining up here, and you're going to be constantly a step away because you haven't chosen and you haven't recalibrated yourself to be the vibration for greater amounts of money, to be able to receive. And if you're constantly trying to feel love by finding it in other people, other places, other circumstances, and internally you're still feeling unlovable in some way, you're going to be one step away from it. You are not in alignment with greater levels of love. So when we use synchronicities as a tool, we say, what is it I'm actually thinking about? Oh, the universe is giving me examples. My brain is allowing me to tune into these examples because it's filtering out everything I'm not consciously thinking about. Okay. If I don't love it, let's change it. How do I change it? Pause. Think. Ask yourself, what's going on here? What am I giving my attention to? Okay, great. Do I love it? Maybe not. How can I change it? Write it out. Write it out and say everything that is not going well for me. Now, do the opposite. What would I love? Such a powerful question. What would I love to focus on more of? And write that one out. Burn the old one. Renew, rehash, look at every single day and allow it to permeate your mind, this new energy that you want to embody. Is it going to take time? Probably. It depends on how long it's been in your mind. If it's a really long, old, sturdy pattern and story, it might take some time. Is it worth it? Absolutely. Because you're going to create a life anyways. You're going to be paying very specific attention to things every single day anyways. Would you love to take a moment here or there every day to repattern something you actually want to focus on, that you actually want more of? Or would you rather stay unconscious? Would you rather just keep feeling bad about your life? Would you rather keep feeling like a victim in your life? Would you rather keep feeling like life is happening to you and you have no control over it? Because it's a choice. Once you are conscious aware of the fact that you can change your life by changing your internal world, you become a far more powerful, active component and participant in your life. And it's worth it. And you notice every single day, oh my gosh, wait, I remember when this used to be a lot harder, but now look at it, it's easier. And these are all the reasons why. So, synchronicities, are they good? Are they bad? The answer is they're neither here nor there. They're examples for you to be able to shift what it is you would love or to enhance what it is you would love to see in life. If you guys have any pertinent questions that are piquing your mind's eye, then I highly encourage you to continue to write on the Facebook posts, write on the Instagram posts, direct message me and say, hey, this is coming up in my life. I'd love a little bit more guidance on this. I love it. It's such a great way to be able to not only pitch the questions to the community, but to be able to really have your questions answered in a way that I am able to and or do more research on for you guys. If you guys would also love to continue to master your mind in an even more powerful way, check out every Monday from 3 to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, that is PST, where we go and serve Mind Mastery Monday, where I sit down with you guys and we get to learn the tips, tricks, and tools that allow you to harness and become an even more empowered part of your life and have the mental tools to be able to use not only in your current reality, but to be able to change your reality and your future in an even more awesome way. So make sure to check that out. I love doing it. It's live over Zoom. It's free, and I'd love to see you there. Until next week, I trust, hope, and expect that you all have yourself an amazing day, an amazing week. And if I don't see you before Halloween, because I believe this one will come out before Halloween, but I'll have another one on the day after Halloween. Have yourself a super duper day, and I look forward to talking with you all very soon.
Thank you all for joining me today because it has been my absolute pleasure to be here with you. Make sure to give this podcast a 5-star review and share it with all your loved ones because it helps in creating even more awesome content. If you're interested in learning how to effortlessly create even more health, vitality, and time and money freedom, sign up for my free monthly vision workshop live over Zoom. Until then, I hope you all have a powerful day, and I look forward to chatting with you all real soon.